It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour. It's a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar today. We're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, which is a couple of blocks down from Napoleon Avenue, uptown, right across from the European Wax Center. You're familiar with the European Wax Center, Kevin?
I am.
You are?
Yeah, so
Why
I've
is
heard
that?
of it.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it. This whole area is getting developed so beautifully.
I know, it
You
really
get to
is.
see all
This
these
is
new
Kevin
shops.
Wilkins, who's here today with us. We're going to have an amazing lot of music today on today's show. It's going to be a big music show. First of all, Andrew Duhon's record comes out this week.
Oh, wow.
His new album
Nice.
called False River. But you might notice that Andrew Duhon's not here. So hopefully,
For the time being, I
at
hope.
some point, he's going to show up and talk about his new record. You think he'd be here by now, wouldn't you?
Or we will
And-
improvise his record.
And we can sing.
Oh, we'll just have to do some songs from Darcy Malone from Darcy Malone and the Tangle is here.
Hello.
Hello, along with Rory Calais, who's also now in the Tangle. Used to be Vox and the Hound last time you were on here.
Oh,
Still.
I still am, yeah.
You're
I
in
just,
two bands.
sorry, I still am. I just double dip now.
Okay. So you get paid twice, or you make twice as little money now?
Twice,
Yeah.
take that as you will. Twice as little. I guess twice as little.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. So you're in two bands.
I am.
Okay, very good. And Mavis Early is here. Mavis, what do you play?
Not any instrument.
You're the only person here who's not an accomplished musician.
You're
Do
right,
you know
but
that
my son
Kevin
is.
Your son is in Flow
Yes,
Tribe.
yes.
So that
Oh.
gives you some credibility right there.
Yes, right.
How about that? That's pretty
We
impressive.
love
right?
Flow
I
Tribe.
know.
Oh, thank you.
I know.
Me too.
Very exciting, really exciting.
And Kevin Wilkins, you know, would have had a huge career as a classically trained piano player if he hadn't thrown it away on,
long time ago.
business.
A long time ago.
So I never knew that about you until today when I read this research that Graham DePonte sent me
Oh,
that
look
says,
at that.
how about that?
The
That says
secrets they dig up.
you were a concert piano player.
I was.
Wow.
Growing up, it was a big deal for me in my youth. So I studied piano when I was in grammar school, right through high school, and I competed nationally.
Right.
Wow.
And were you like a sort of a
And then I got to
nerdy-
college and I said, I've had enough. So I decided to do other things.
Were you really good? Could you have had a career as a concert pianist?
I don't think so. It was a nice hobby, and it was a great discipline for a kid. You know, learning how to practice the piano all the time.
Is it a good way to meet girls at school? Or
Not at
bad?
all. Not at all.
It's not like the guitar.
It's not like the guitar, right? You can't carry the piano with you, right? Well, now you can carry a keyboard. I guess that's kind of cool.
Well, that's true.
But back in my
you-
day, no.
You're not the sexy guy up there playing piano.
I wasn't doing piano bars. No, I was doing like Beethoven.
Yeah, but isn't there like a
Hey, there are
venue?
girls that love that.
Right?
Yes,
Right.
Darcy, thank you. Aren't there?
Barking up the wrong trees, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think when most women find out that you can play an instrument, that really adds to.
It piques their interest at
Yeah.
times, sure.
But it didn't work
And I
for
keep
you.
telling that to my 3 kids. I've got 3 boys, all of which tried the piano, none of which took to the piano.
What are they playing?
Not much. Not much. Sports. They're playing sports.
So that's
Video
more.
game.
And that's what
games?
I did not do when I was young. I was not the athlete. I was the
Right.
musician. So I've got 3
where
athletes.
were you growing up at exactly?
I grew up in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
I just don't
Okay.
talk about it very often.
What part? What part of New Jersey?
Right
Like-
outside New York City.
So
the northern
an okay
part.
part or a rough part?
New Jersey gets a bad rap.
Yeah, you think it's all like.
You think of the Garden State Parkway or the Turnpike.
I think of
lived
Jersey
in a
Shore.
very nice
Yeah,
area
you
called
immediately think of Jersey.
called
Shore.
Montclair.
Unfortunately, they've ruined you.
Montclair.
right.
Montclair sounds like it's fancy.
See, Montclair
Got a
is
fancy
really,
name.
really fancy right now, but when I was growing up, not so much. It just became fancy. You know, all the suburbs of New York City they exploded.
Yeah.
Montclair is a really convenient suburb of New York City. But when I was growing up there in the 70s and the 80s, not so much.
So were you like a nice little kid playing classical piano in a rough neighborhood?
Was I a nerd?
Well, I didn't want to use that word, but that's a fair question.
I was a little nerdy,
Yeah.
perhaps. Not so much in a rough neighborhood. I don't want to
it's-
paint that picture.
It's kind of cool to be nerdy now, isn't it?
Oh,
Darcy?
you point to me.
Yeah. Well, because you have a lot to do with
Well,
you have a
yeah.
lot to do with kids yourself, right?
Oh, I do. The nerdy kids I love. It's the non-nerdy ones that are big jerks. No, not really. I mean,
But what do the nerdy kids
these
think
days
of each
it's
other?
like really cool to be a nerd
That's what
and
I'm
be
thinking.
dirty and
Right.
funky and
different.
Different.
It's cool.
Were you dirty as a kid?
dirty.
No,
where
it's
does
a
dirty
look,
come
Grant.
from?
Grant, it's a
Appetite
look.
dirty.
You look dirty, yet you are very clean.
So looking dirty is in now.
Totally.
Is that right? Rory, are you familiar
Like
with?
grungy,
now?
grungy
Disheveled.
chic, I guess. Yeah,
Disheveled.
disheveled. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's a good
Disheveled.
word. Yes.
Dirty. Not
Right.
dirty under the fingernails, but disheveled.
Right, like you don't
Mis-
care.
mismatched.
You know?
Yeah.
A little mismatched.
Like all fabrics go together nowadays.
Like all plaids.
Yeah.
All plaids, right?
All plaids, all every pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
Tip.
fashion aspect to dirt, is there?
Yes.
These days.
You have to be dirty and wear the right clothes.
So
Yeah.
I have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old boys, and when they're going out at night, they're looking kind of mismatched.
See?
But very cool.
What does
Very
a,
And then
cool.
they throw a cap on, and
Right.
then they're good to go.
what
Yeah.
does a 15-year-old
And the
do in
girls
New
love
Orleans
it.
now?
It's a good gig to be a 15-year-old in New Orleans.
Do they still
right?
go to bars here?
I don't know those things, right? As a parent, I'm innocent.
Mavis, what do you have? How old are your kids? They're all
Oh,
grown up.
just one. Just John Michael, who's in Flow Tribe and
Right, so he-
grown. Yes, graduated college.
He goes to
and,
bars.
Right.
Yeah, he goes
He
to
goes to
bars,
bars.
for
So-
sure.
But did you grow up here, Mavis?
Oh yes.
So were you
all of my
going to
life.
bars in high school?
No, I had a very strict upbringing.
Really?
Yes.
Well, what high school did you go?
I went to one that is now extinct, Sacred Heart High School on Canal Street. The Servant Sisters of, not the Servant Sisters of Mary, sorry, School Sisters of Notre Dame.
So it's nothing to do with Sacred Heart that's on Napoleon or St. Charles or
Nothing
whatever.
at all. That's why I immediately say it
Right.
when someone, after I say Sacred Heart, I quickly say on Canal Street because, before someone goes, oh, Sacred Heart, uptown. No,
No.
I get it
So
all
there
out
were-
ahead of
There were
time.
competing Sacred Hearts at one point.
No, not exactly.
So
Not the same.
No, not the same at all.
there were two schools called Sacred Heart?
Right. One is an academy. That's the one that's uptown, and the other one
Yeah.
was high school, and it was on Canal Street in Mid City.
What's an academy compared to a high school?
It was just different. Like in my high school, we had two tracks. We had a college track and a non-college track, like a business track,
Right.
for people who were going to graduate from high school and go into, not intend to go to college.
So it was
And
like a caste system already at school. It was like the
in my school, or in the
Successful-
two
in your
Sacred
school.
Hearts, in the two.
no, your school.
Well, no, not everybody got along, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't get along, but I mean, you had to decide early on in high school whether you were going to be a professional
Yes.
or
Yeah, you
a
did.
blue collar worker.
You did. Right,
Wow.
pretty much.
Really
That's-
young to make that
that's
decision.
very-
Well,
Yeah.
but it was like you chose what it is you wanted to do and
At the
how
age
you
of,
wanted to
what,
do it.
That's what I mean. It's like the
13.
Indian caste system. At 13, you have to decide whether you're going to be a brain surgeon or
Well,
work
you
for the
could
sanitation.
you could move at any time, and I think it was after the first 2 years, then you would choose that, which track you wanted to go into.
And which
so
were you on?
college track, yeah.
So you weren't allowed to go out at 15 because you were on the college track, right?
Well, I don't know if it was because I was on the college track. It was just that.
Household policy.
Yeah,
Household policy, yeah.
yes. Let's
Yeah.
put it that
We've
way.
tried to implement household
I was one of
policy.
six. I was one of
Sorry.
6 children.
Oh, wow.
What number were you?
I was 2.
Is that good or bad, being 2? It puts you in charge of almost everybody, I would think.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because number 1 usually leaves home first.
That's what
And
happened.
that leaves you in charge of the rest.
Yeah.
3 to 6.
And we were all about 3.5 to 4 years apart.
Oh,
so it was
wow.
very interesting. Yeah.
So everyone had like an equal reign, or I guess a term. Like everyone had a term as the oldest
You
kid
take
in the
care
house.
of the
yeah.
one, well, first you have one responsibility, the one that's 3.5, 4 years younger than you, and then the next one comes along, and you got to wait to train the one under you to take care of the next one,
Right.
and on. But always the one at the top is the one that has the most responsibility for everyone,
Right.
which was not a bad thing.
I can't imagine keeping track of 6 children.
Yeah.
I can barely keep track of 3.
My
Well,
husband's one of
because-
11.
11.
Oh my God, that's a
So
tribe.
what's up
Yes.
with that? Is this
That's
like
right.
sort of super Catholic family?
Yeah, super Catholic families.
So you rebelled and only had the one. Well, that rebalances the sort of generations a little bit.
Sort of.
Did you do
yeah.
that intentionally? You intentionally said, I don't want to have 6 kids?
I didn't want to have any children, and I went to law school after when I graduated high school. I went to Loyola undergraduate, and then I worked for a couple of years and went to law school, and I didn't want to have any children before I graduated law school.
Right.
And I didn't want to have any children right after I got out of college either, just because everybody else was, and that's what everybody
So you're
did.
like a rebel.
Yeah, somewhat, but kind of a conservative rebel, I guess, because.
Right.
So anyway.
Did you get married to anybody at this point already?
I got married 2 years after graduating from college.
Wow. That was quick. Or was
Well,
it?
no.
normal?
That
That's
was
pretty
a long
normal.
time. Everybody was getting married right out of college.
Yeah,
Again, I was resisting that.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with all these people that you grew up with here?
With a great deal of them, yes.
Because that seems to be a real New Orleans thing, is
Yeah.
that everybody stays in
Oh.
touch with each other. It's
Yes.
like, are you Darcy?
Yeah.
You still in touch with everybody?
Yeah.
Rory, you're from here too, right?
Yeah.
So
And,
you still have all your friends from... Nobody leaves.
no one really leaves, and I
They
have.
try to. They get sucked back.
Right.
Yeah, that tend to happen, and I have Pelican season tickets with like a big group of high school friends. So that's sort of our method of staying in touch over
Is
the years.
anybody dead yet?
No deaths yet.
Nobody's
so,
dead.
knock on
Darcy,
wood.
what about yours?
I have friends that have passed away, yes.
How many are gone?
Um,
Do they have Pelican tickets that they left behind?
damn,
Anything?
Grant.
What are they dying from? Drug overdoses? Because you're in...
This got really dark really fast.
Well, that's very interesting, though.
Some from, drug overdoses.
From drugs.
Some from different things.
Different things.
Mm-hmm.
Different from drugs.
Yeah.
What else is killing people?
Wow.
Can we
Well, isn't
change
that-
the subject?
So not being
Grant, you went dark.
Is that dark?
So
Really?
Andrew's got a record coming out, huh?
Right.
What
let's
is- what do you
play
think-
Andrew's record right now
What
for
do you
us.
think? What do you think is dark about talking about people dying?
I just personally don't like to talk about other people's things.
Well, they're dead, so.
But
Don't worry about
their friends and family are not.
Well, they're not listening to this show, I'm sure, are they?
Well, let's hope they are.
Well,
Maybe
that's
not
true.
now.
Well,
They
we
probably
don't know.
just
We don't know who they
walked
are.
off.
Okay, well, we just have to move on from death.
So not being from here, when you were asked, like, what school did you go to?
Yeah. What do you say to that?
And I often gave a college response. And then people look confused.
Right.
And they're like, no, which high school did you go to?
Yeah, that's a
And
common
it's the
question.
only community that I've lived in where that seems to be a focus.
Would you have an answer for it?
I use my kids' schools, and I use my wife's school, but then they still tilt their head a little bit. They're like, I don't know where to place you. Like, I don't know where you belong.
And then do they say,
That's-
"Oh, you're not from here"?
You're not from here.
That's the phrase, right? You're not from here.
I married someone from here. I married someone from here.
Well, that's how you know if you know somebody or if you know you're going to have people in common is where did you go
Exactly.
to school?
Right.
Exactly.
But
Right.
you have to make one up.
Right.
Depends on who you're talking to.
That's fun. Right?
That's what I do.
Also,
I
it lets you judge people right away. So
Yeah, it gives
let's
you-
not forget
Absolutely.
that.
Right.
Socioeconomic
Some
classes.
people you can say, I say I either went to Newman or Jesuit, depending on who I'm talking to.
Where did you go?
Where did I go? Christchurch Boys High School.
Okay. I was not expecting
Doesn't
that.
tell you anything. but I say I either went to Jesuit or Newman, and then people
will
they know exactly what to make.
Right. Totally.
Either way.
But don't
Yeah.
they start asking you, "Oh, do you what class?
Do
what,
you know?"
what year?
Right.
And do you know so and so? And do you know so
Did
and
someone
so?"
right?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to say I went to Sacred Heart Academy. No, the other one.
High
Sacred
school.
Heart High School on Canal Street.
Right.
There were no guys there, right? I assume it was all.
No guys.
I went to
no
Sacred,
guys.
the other Sacred Heart for,
Did you went to real Sacred Heart?
for 2 years.
And then
but
what?
I immediately have to say I was asked to not return.
You got expelled.
You should have come
Just
to
to
Mid-City.
clear things up.
You got expelled from Sacred Heart.
I did.
Wow. Are we allowed to ask about that, or is
Okay.
it too dark?
No, it's not.
What did you do?
Now that's a story.
No, I went to the free school, which was a public school on Camp Street. Then I went to Lusher, where I now work.
Right.
And those were co-ed public schools. And getting taken out of there to go to Sacred Heart was kind of a culture shock for me and my sister. And so we weren't happy. And we basically told our parents, look, if you don't take us out, we're going to get out.
Wow.
And
Why did
so
they want you to
we
go there?
did.
Do they want you to go there because it was a better education for you?
My stepmother is Sacred Heart alumni. I'm so sorry, Beth. But yeah, and I think she thought it would be a great education
But
for us.
Not so much, though. What were you?
No.
What was so bad about it? Apart from the uniform, which is actually pretty cool.
Well, it was just different worlds. We grew up in co-ed, high minority schools, and this was very different. and so
It was
we
all
didn't
girls and
really.
all white.
Yeah, we didn't really fit in.
And
too
everybody
well.
there probably had been going to
They had
school
been going
together
there
since pre-K.
Ah.
Now
So it's a different.
I did meet one of my best friends who is the godmother of my child and my sister's child, who I still keep in touch with from there. But yeah, we just didn't. It didn't work. It didn't work.
So did they really kick you out?
I mean, these were kids of doctors and lawyers, and here I have the daughter of the Radiators, and
your
which
dad is
immediately
the-
was like,
Isn't that cool though? Your dad was the lead singer in the Radiators. That was at the height of their fame.
yeah, but it comes with lots of judgments.
Does it? I would have thought that would make you the coolest
What's
person.
that family about? Party and rock star.
Well, that's true.
Cooler than Beethoven.
I would have thought
Hey,
that would have been.
I went
Wait.
to Loyola for piano when I was in grammar school too.
Oh, you
I
did?
love the piano.
So everybody's got a sort of a story about how they got fucked up. You got fucked up by being a classical piano player. You got fucked up by being the daughter of a rock
No,
star.
I need to
mean,
rephrase that.
how-
I didn't get fucked up by it. I love it. But, I mean, I got fucked up in other ways, but that had nothing to do
But
with...
it didn't work for you.
Yeah.
It's the least
By
of
the
my
way,
issues.
classical music and rock and roll doesn't matter what. Rory, what was your story? How did you get fucked up?
I'm still kind of in the process of becoming fucked
Right,
up. So
you
I
seem-
mean, it's kind of like an ellipsis right now.
You managed
yeah.
to be in two
Active.
bands at the same
Yeah,
time.
that's
you've got
He's
some
that's a
really
good start.
fucked
That's a
up.
good start to getting fucked up. Yeah, that's a good start.
okay. What school did you go to? Did we hit
I
that?
went to Shaw on the West Bank.
Shaw.
He's
Shaw.
from the Wank. There you go.
Yeah, the West Bank. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Archbishop Shaw?
Archbishop Shaw, correct? Yeah, the
Okay.
technical name, yes.
On the West Bank. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Okay, so listen, you guys. So Andrew just texted me. I'll read you this text. So this is a bad situation here. So it says, Grant, I'm sorry. I've been making circles to the post office for this release and just flat out forgot it was Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Upside down with the release orders. I'm sorry to leave you hanging, buddy. What does that mean? He's not coming?
Yes, that means he's
I think
not
that
coming.
Oh my
it's
God,
fair
are you
to
serious?
say that he's not.
That is a bad development, but it means that you can play some more songs, you two.
Oh,
And Kevin gets to
Okay.
play the piano. How many songs do you think you guys are prepared to play here today?
well, we prepared to.
Two. Let's do one right now then, and then we've got one up our sleeves.
Okay, good.
Okay. You think I
What
was
do you
going
do at
to...
Lusher?
I'm the aftercare director.
Oh, fantastic. My kids go there. It's really cool.
No
they?
way.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't
Ask them
take
if they
anything
know.
I've said.
No, they're older, but they do
Oh,
need
thank
aftercare.
God.
But they are older.
But hang on, I thought
I'm
you
at
just...
the lower school.
You're at the Willow School, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, your kids are like they're out of high school almost, right?
My oldest is a senior in college. My
Oh, okay. Well, that's-
my middle son's about to be a junior, and my youngest is about to be a sophomore.
Who is your
Okay.
son?
Wilkins, Benjamin Wilkins, and Zachary
oh my
Wilkins.
God, I know them.
Do you know
yes.
because they've been at Lusher
They
for a
were-
while?
Well, I had Ben.
Oh, you had Ben?
Yeah, because he was at the lower school.
He
right?
was. He started.
Yeah.
We moved here. He started in third grade.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Miss
Loved it.
Darcy is the after school...
Miss Darcy.
Miss
That's
That's how they all
nice
call
to
them.
meet you.
And please forget everything I said.
No
before
worries.
this.
No worries.
It's my alter ego.
So, but Darcy's also the lead singer of a band called Darcy Malone and the Tangle, which has gone from sort of 0 to 100 in the last year, actually, I suppose, really.
Yeah.
Things are really picking up for this band now.
Things are going really well.
Yes. You played
We-
on the Acura stage at
we
Jazz
did.
Fest.
That's
That
Doesn't
was
get any
incredible.
bigger than that.
That's fantastic.
It's not getting any
Yeah.
bigger than that in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was a dream come true.
We're just kind of coming back down to earth
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
It
That's
was
very
really.
impressive.
Oh, look, see, you
Who's
can
ringing?
get calls during this.
Yeah, anyone calling Kevin that we need to talk to?
Is it Andrew
Your mother-in-law?
Duhon?
Really? Okay.
Okay,
Wait,
so
Okay, so what are you thinking of playing?
we're gonna play Meringue,
Okay.
which
Ah,
is from
wait
the
till you
new
hear
record.
this. Okay.
So the story behind this goes that my dad, who is from the Radiators, texted me this guitar riff. Jeez, Grant.
It's okay, don't worry.
Um,
Just pretend that never
and-
He's a professional.
And I really fell in love with it and put it in my. I have Pro Tools at home and just put it in on repeat and just wrote a song over it. And this happened, and I just kind of stole it from him. He's okay with it, luckily. I think he likes the song, and Rory does a great job playing that riff.
So you and your dad wrote this together in a sense?
We did. We did. So this is called Meringue.
Right?
Yeah. We've been down so long now, never feeling bad. When others were bound, you and me were never sad. Now our world's been changing, life's been throwing snags. Nothing seems the same, and good times begin to drag. All the world's been changing, but it should be good. One day you hear me out, and next day you misunderstood. I can't take it much longer, all this back and forth. If we can't stay on track now, I'm taking my own course. You keep whipping it like meringue. Meringue. You keep whipping it like meringue. Now you say you're feeling like you've been attacked. Take a look at your own words and you'll find who's truly mad. We've been over and over who is wrong and who's right. There ain't no good reason to continue this fight. So when does the end come? Do we make amends? Do we go our way or do we try to still be friends? I keep saying sorry, don't make me say it no more, please. When's it your turn to admit your own faults and things? All the world's been changing, but it should be good. One day you hear me out and next day you misunderstood. I can't take it much longer, all this back and forth. If we can't stay on track now, I'm taking my own course. You keep whipping it like meringue. Meringue. You keep whipping it like meringue. And sometimes it feels just like meringue. Ooh, last one, meringue.
Now that's cool. That is cool.
Thank you.
Rory.
Beautiful.
Rory, is your mom Pam?
My aunt is Pam.
Oh, your aunt is Pam.
Oh, is she commenting
she
on
thinks
stuff?
it's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Pam.
Thanks, Aunt Pam.
Also, Darcy, I think your mom is my neighbor.
No way.
She live in Mid-City?
Yeah,
Yeah? Your mom's
Susie.
my neighbor.
Oh my God, that's
Love
amazing.
Xerox.
I love this city.
I love this city. Where'd you go to school? No, I'm just kidding.
And Darcy, Ed Vocal lives next door to me.
No way.
We're all neighbors.
We're all related. Forget everything I've
And
said.
you taught my child.
Okay.
That is crazy.
Damn it.
So,
I've got to watch my language more.
so what do you think of that lyric?
Which one?
Beautiful.
Keep whipping it like meringue. I
Yeah.
think you're onto something with this song.
Do you, what can you think? What do you think it's about?
I think the association of whipping something like making it's bad, you know, like you keep overdoing it and
Yes.
you keep pushing it is what you're trying to say, I guess, in the song.
Yeah, it's
But
not,
then
and it's not a love song. It's
Right.
it's about.
you're pushing me.
Yeah, it's
to go
about.
my
It's
own
actually
way.
about friendships going awry and people changing their story over and over and over that you can't get
Interesting.
to a part of resolution. So you just give up.
But the word meringue, I've never heard that used in anything except a recipe.
But it's a great concept.
It's
Isn't
whipped
it
up.
great?
I mean, it's
It
a
also
great
feels like it
concept.
could be a great,
yeah.
great metaphor for life. Like meringue just keeps being whipped, and you
Nice.
just don't know how it's going to ever end up. Different shapes, different sizes.
Love it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's almost on the borderline of being like a hokey sentence, whipping it like meringue. But
Totally.
but the way you do it, though, is so great. It's so
really exciting.
powerful, don't you think?
Awesome.
I
When
think it
things
totally.
When you're
I
stop
think
whipping
that
it and
song.
leaving it alone, what happens?
then you eat it.
Or it melts. It starts to
Or
melt.
it goes flat and
Or
it's
it
done,
goes
right?
flat. Right, exactly.
So you got to keep
That's,
whipping it.
That's really good
Yeah.
too. I love this.
Good point, Mavis. You've got to keep whipping it, otherwise it's not meringue.
Yeah. Awesome.
It only lasts so long.
So tell us what happened. So you got this guitar riff from your dad, Dave.
Yeah.
He just sends it to you. He played it into his phone and he sends it to you.
He sends it to me
How
over
do you
a
take?
text.
How did you take through a text? How do you take that and make this melody? Did that just come into your head?
It just, when he was playing it, I kept hearing, I knew I wanted to write a song that was going to be kind of like a 60s girl group type tune, because that's really where I pull a lot of inspiration from. So when he sent me that, and it had that bridge change in it, I don't know, it started coming to me immediately, and that's when I put it in on repeat. I just kept copying and pasting it into a form of verses and chorus and all that, and then
Pretty
it
interesting.
came to me.
So that
Yeah.
whole melody, so that melody has nothing to do with the song that your dad sent you. He just sent you.
No, he just
Rory,
sent
play
me that.
Play the riff that he sent.
Sure.
Okay. You don't mind me telling you what to do?
And to me, I kept hearing it, and I was like, I was hearing, which now my backup singers do behind the song when we're live, like a girl group.
That's how you started it?
And then the words came. I happened to be going through an issue with a friend, and and it just happened. I don't know.
Did the word meringue come to you first, or was that?
Yeah, whipping it like meringue came to me. I don't know why, but it just did. That line just kept coming to me because.
That must have been a good day. That moment when you thought of that.
Yeah, I was in a good email battle, and the stories kept changing, and I was like, man, this is like whipped cream. This shit is getting crazy. And then I heard like, and then the meringue thing came,
Right.
and I don't know.
Wow,
it
nice.
happened. And the funny thing was, my dad was like, "What the hell does that mean?" You know, because I sent it to him first, and he's like, "I don't know." I don't know.
but he's-
Now that people he's like, "Oh, it's a good song."
Yeah. But when you hear the lyric the first time, it is right on the edge of being crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's such a weird.
Well, I am.
Is it analogy? Is that the right word?
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Metaphor, is it?
Right.
It's sort of weird to say that. I mean, but the way you do it is what makes it cool, in my opinion.
Well, thanks,
So congratulations.
man.
So you guys have an EP out now with a whole bunch of songs on it.
We do. It has 5 songs. It's called Pure as Gold. Rory wrote the title track, actually.
You did.
Yeah, kind of a similar situation, Meringue. I just kind of wrote some music and sent it in, and we actually were in the studio kind of working on it and wasn't totally sure what the vocals were going to be, and then
We had no vocals.
right, I remember I went kind of in the little like break room and went to get like a glass of water, and Darcy was sitting there. She's like, "Oh, I just came up with something," and sang it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's way better than anything I would have came up with." So awesome.
So you wrote that one together as well.
Yeah.
So Darcy, you can just churn them out.
No,
These
it
melodies
depends
just
on
come
the,
to you?
it depends on the mood and setting. It doesn't like if you told me to do something right now, it'd be terrible. But
Let's
if
find out.
I'm
Let's do
inspired.
one.
No, I'm
Rory, do you
inspired by things, and so if, especially music, if something moves me in a certain way or makes me feel a particular thing, then
Did you
that's
have-
going to come out. Plus, we were at studio in the country, which is a real vibey place. It's like in the middle of the woods. So many people have recorded there. It looks like you're stepping into, the 1960s or 70s, really. And
So it's good
And-
for the stuff you're doing.
Yeah,
Are you
it
trying to
just-
come up with a 60s, 70s type sound, or does it just come out like that?
I think
it's
just
kind of like where we've been going and we didn't know it. But I'm very inspired by soulful stuff. I love to sing soulfully, And then these guys, I mean, we have a rock background too, so I don't know.
I think today it's really difficult to categorize, what a type of music, like
Yeah.
60s, 70s, or soul or
Because
rock, because there's so many influences and
Right.
so many background, and you all grew up just like I did and John Michael did, with so many different
Exactly.
genres of music that it's all inspiring,
Yeah.
and you hear a little bit of it in everything that you write,
and that's exactly what I think we go for. That's what our band name is, the tangle of genres. So, right?
Yeah, no,
Huh.
totally. And
Great.
and I mean, as there've been. I just joined the band less a year ago, and I'm one of 3 new people. So we the new people came in with our own tangles, and then it just sort of became this. And I know from my vantage point, I was just hearing that's where it wanted to go. So
Yeah.
we were kind of in the studio, and when we were listening to everything, it was like, we just made a soul record. I don't think any of us really consciously thought it, but it was just like, there
And
it is.
I was like, finally.
How long?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? Have you been a singer your whole life?
Yeah. I've been singing since I came out of the womb.
It's awesome.
But I've always loved singing. I did play piano for a long time. But singing I used to go to my parents' gigs and get up and sing sometimes with them as a child.
That's
and,
awesome.
There was no escaping it. I wasn't going to become anything else. It just was going to happen.
surrender, pure surrender.
Right. I couldn't help it.
It's good that you knew that from the very beginning,
I
right?
did,
And
yeah.
you're clearly good at it, so that's
Well,
exciting.
thanks.
It seems to be working out all right.
I hope so.
Do you have anything to do with music management, Kevin?
No,
Nothing?
not
You don't have any
personally.
music people as your clients?
We do a lot of work in the cultural economy.
You do?
Yeah, we don't
So
do,
Kev-
we don't do music management per se, but we work with organizations that are in the arts. We do a lot of strategic planning work.
So Kevin's company is called Trapwise.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
That's right.
And it's
Trapwise. Trap
T-R-A-P.
is short for entrepreneur. Wise is sharing wisdom. And it's also my wife's last name.
Oh,
So
nice.
kind of like a double entendre, right?
Her name
Look
is
at that.
Trap.
I love
No,
that.
her name is Wise.
Is she in the business with you?
Wait, I thought it
No,
was
she works at
Trek,
Tulane.
too.
She does.
She's a professional fundraiser. She runs
Oh, that's
university
handy.
advancement for Tulane.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's a very
That's
handy
amazing.
skill to have,
It's a
being able to raise
fantastic
money,
skill,
isn't it?
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Asking people for money is a really hard thing to do.
I think
So you have to be really passionate
one of
about
my
it.
best friends might work for her.
Okay.
That would not be surprising. Who
Yeah.
is it?
Connection.
Lauren Cecil Petrie.
The name sounds familiar.
It's a great name, even if you just made that up. Lauren Cecil Petrie.
Yeah.
I might have to use
There
that
are a lot of
myself.
people raising money for Tulane right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
Yeah. Lot going on.
That's true.
Tulane seems to have a lot of money. They keep building buildings all over the place.
Well, it takes money to
Yeah.
to make those buildings
And
happen.
they're also charging people like $60,000 a year to go there. So they must have-
I can't speak to the tuition. I don't know.
They do. I think that's what it is.
You're
It's-
asking me?
I think
have no idea.
I think I've given enough money to
Sea Rock
you
is
guys.
a graduate of Tulane.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sea Rock, is it
So
really
graduates tend to
60,000 a
hide
year?
from my wife, but yeah.
No comment. They
Well, is that a
do
secret?
Well, it's no
I think it's
secret.
on the website.
It's no secret,
No,
but
the
they do a
tuition's
lot
not
with
secret.
scholarships, tuition.
They do a lot of
Right.
scholarships, yeah.
But if you want to pay full freight, I think it's like 60,000. That's the retail.
Which is kind of
Isn't it?
consistent with a lot of these colleges in the country.
That's what it
right
costs now. That's what's so
what it
horrible.
costs. That's
Yeah.
what it costs.
Yeah.
That's why your wife needs to be raising more money from the people, so the kids don't have to pay to go to school.
What's
The
that?
debt that students graduate with is
Right.
what's horrible.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
well,
you
they
went to,
can.
you went to law school. You didn't leave with, and you went to Harvard Business School, right, Kevin?
I did.
So that sounds expensive.
It was expensive, yeah, absolutely.
Every word of that is
That's
And you
sounds.
Every noun and every verb costs something.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you leave with a huge amount of debt when
I
you
did.
graduated?
I did. I had to pay for graduate school myself.
So it's not.
So you
It's
carry it
nothing
with
that
you.
we've-
You carry it with you for a little while.
So we didn't invent this. The way it sounds like this generation has got a much bigger debt load than previous. But you did too.
I did, and I guess it's relative per se. But I mean, you got kids graduating with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt.
Right.
You know,
It can-
going to graduate school
And
now
what it does, I think, the negative of that, besides owing that kind of money and the fear in that, is it defines their choices of where they're going to work and what they're going to do in life, instead of living out of their passion and what they really want to do, they have to make money. So they may have to delay their dream or their dream position or what they want to give to the world, because first they have to pay this debt back, and that's a sad thing.
I mean, I just ignore mine.
Hey, sit down and tell us a story, Asher. Because you just graduated, a couple of years ago?
Four years ago.
So this is Asher, who's
Hi, Asher.
Hey, Asher.
Hi, Andrew.
Asher, give me the camera. We'll turn it around
on yourself.
Yeah, we'll turn the camera around on
There
you.
we go.
Yeah, so I graduated
Good idea.
Yeah.
in 2013 with a master's degree in music composition, but
Nice.
with like $70,000 in student debt, and I don't know what it is now because, like I said, I've just sort of been.
You don't pay it back.
No, I can't afford to.
So it just keeps on getting higher all the time.
I imagine it does. I assume that's how that works.
You're
I know
just
that I've talked to
ignoring
him.
it.
I've talked to him a couple of times and like had it deferred, which I think means that they'll stop asking me for money. I don't think
Well,
that
it means that they will not come after you to
they're not gonna
collect,
keep
Right.
but the interest will continue to accrue on
Yeah,
the
so
debt.
I mean the thing is I've just sort of prioritized like
Weed.
booze, rent, groceries, those kinds of things. That's really important to me. So like,
Booze, rent, and groceries. Perfect order.
yeah, so I've been focusing on that. I've been working in the service industry primarily since then, and now I just quit restaurants though. Got tired of touching greasy forks.
Well, talk to me after about there are a lot of other opportunities in the hospitality industry and hotel and lodging, and it's a place where you can start. I mean, you've got degrees, so you could do like whatever you want. But
This could be your lucky day, Asher.
Yeah.
You know what Mavis does? She's
No.
the executive director of the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association.
Hey.
Yeah.
So she's the boss
Hey.
of the whole. She's the boss of the whole hospitality industry here in New Orleans.
And here's the thing about our industry. In hotel and lodging, we are desperately looking for talented people. Desperately. All you have to do is want to work, and we can train you, and you can explore through the process of all of the positions and career opportunities and pathways in a hotel along the way to see, which one you like, whether it's it's like a microcosm of a city. You think about what the jobs are in a city. Right. Most all of those jobs are in a hotel, from sales, marketing, food and
Construction,
beverage, construction, engineering,
logistics.
Finance, logistics,
Which one do you wanna
revenue
do,
management, projection. I brought a brochure. I'm going to leave it with you before.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Very much. But the end of that story that I didn't get to yet, I guess, is that I did just get hired to teach with an after-school enrichment program.
Yay.
That's what Miss Darcy does.
Yeah.
I know. You could have come and worked for me, too.
Well, I mean, it's all.
Your lucky
It's
day.
like it's like. I should have just come on the show a lot earlier. I guess.
Now, where are you going to work?
At Community Works Louisiana, I don't know where specifically, but apparently there's a lot of sites.
Oh, cool.
And
So we work with Community Works. It's an incredible organization. They partner with many schools, and they have a lot of different after-school programs for enrichment of kids.
Right.
And they do a summer camp.
yeah.
Is that what you'll be supporting?
I'm not doing the summer camp. I'm just going to be a regular after school. I think I just already had filled all the positions for the summer camp, but
Got it. It's a fantastic
Yeah, so-
organization. They really make a huge impact with the youth.
I mean, I'm excited. I shadowed one time. It was a blast. The kids are really sweet.
Yeah.
It was, it was really fun. I'm going to teach storytelling and songwriting.
Oh, nice.
Which is it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I had this great idea to try to get them to. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but to try to see if I could get just expose the kids to, and then try to get them to emulate sort of like storytelling podcasts like Snap Judgment or The Moth or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe with the more lean towards poetry and singing and fiction. But
That's
I don't think
awesome.
it matters on Snap Judgment or The Moth whether it's fiction or not. It's just storytelling.
They'll
anyways.
love that.
When does this job start?
And August?
This is not a full-time.
No,
So you could still go work in the hospitality
That's what I was
industry.
Sure,
going.
yeah.
That's just about what I was going to say. Yes, you can still come and get a part-time position there, and there are also music opportunities in hotels, by the way.
Right. Oh, yeah, you have venues and hotels.
So Mavis, what do you actually do as the executive director
A
of
little
this?
bit of everything.
What is the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association?
We have the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association is a professional trade association for the hotel and lodging industry, and we represent the interests of the hotel and lodging industry. And we also have a education foundation, a hospitality education foundation,
Right.
affiliated, and I'm executive director of both. And we offer scholarships to individuals in high school who are interested, up to $8,000 a year. If you're interested in a career in hospitality, if you're going, you can go to a 2-year program at Delgado, or you can go to a 4-year program at UNO, or you can go to a 2-year program at Delgado and then matriculate to UNO because they accept the credits. That's all set up. And we also do workforce development. We do continuing education for the current employees in hospitality. Louisiana Restaurant Association handles most of the culinary training because that is what they do. We wrote a curriculum for career pathways in the hospitality industry and the hotel and lodging industry. So you can start.
What is a career? That's my question. You can start as what? As like
What is a career pathway?
A bellhop, and then you end up being the manager of a hotel.
Absolutely. And,
Ash, are you paying attention?
Absolutely.
I was listening.
Most every general manager who began at an entry-level position, working part-time. I mean, when I asked them, that it's, I was peeling shrimp, I was a back boy, I was a bartender, I washed dishes. I mean, literally, this is absolutely true stories. But here's the great thing. If you're interested in a career in hospitality or you just want to try it out. Because you can start wherever. Okay, everybody starts at the entry-level position. What's valued most in our industry, even more than education, I think, is experience. So let's say you start in one department. Let's take housekeeping, because unfortunately that's what everybody thinks when they think about a career in hospitality. Oh, it's nothing but making beds and that, which, by the way, is a core, tending the rooms is a core thing that needs to be done for a hotel to be successful.
That is a totally shitty job.
Yeah, but you can move up
Making your
very
own
quickly.
bed. Really?
Yes, you can move up very quickly to a manager, a supervisor.
I can be making beds like at the Hilton tomorrow, and then in a few weeks I can be the manager.
Well, I wouldn't say a few
That
weeks,
doesn't
but
sound
maybe
like-
6 months.
6 months?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm in.
If you are, it's not like I'm going to sit back and see when I get offered. You have to speak up and say, all right, I'm really interested in this profession, and I want to see what I can do. So you can start there, and then you can become a supervisor, and then you can become a manager, a director of housekeeping, big bucks.
Kevin, are you listening to this? This sounds good for all of
We
us.
do a lot of work in the hospitality space.
You know
I mean,
about this already.
It's the number one industry in New Orleans.
It is. We
right? So
employ
we do-
over
80,000.
88,000
Yeah.
people just in Orleans Parish and about 120,000 in the greater metropolitan area.
It's a major economic driver in the
It
city.
is.
These are the number of people who are employed in the hospitality industry.
Pardon?
These are the number of people who are employed.
In the hospitality
100
industry,
and
yes.
something thousand people.
Yes, in greater New Orleans
So
area.
it's the single biggest industry in
It's
New Orleans.
one of the top.
One of the top
the
economic
port.
drivers in the city.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
is a great economic driver, and the taxes that they generate for the city and
Yeah.
the state are greater than oil and a lot of other industries you would
Okay.
think would generate more
So
taxes.
you're one of the most powerful people in New Orleans.
No, it's not me.
I'd say so. Wouldn't you say? You must be.
Listen, it's all about the people who work in the industry. They're the ones who are the powerful people, because without them, we couldn't do what
But
we
you're
do.
the executive director of the trade organization that unifies all these.
Yes, I try
So-
and keep everybody
so-
together and keep things moving
And
and offer
represent them well.
programs that and keep things moving. We need people to understand what the opportunities are in the hotel and lodging industry
Well, I'm
and
sure
in
you're
the
doing a good job
hospitality
right now,
industry.
because I had no idea that you could go from.
Yeah. So here's the other
making
thing.
beds
So
to
let's
managing.
say you get to be a manager in I'm going to use housekeeping, or as you say, look, you go to the HR director or anyone in HR or your supervisor and say, look, I want to try something else out. I mean, I really think I would like sales and marketing. So if you ask, you will get. So it's not going to happen tomorrow, but when there is an opening, that's going to be noted. And if there's an opening there or somewhere else, they think once they know that you want to move up and you want to explore, it's a great area to explore.
Sure. Career pathing is really important.
Are you thinking of doing it, Rory?
Yeah, it sounds enticing.
You can do it and play music too.
So if we tour, could we like just kind of work our? It's like when you wash the dishes at a restaurant to not pay the bill. Can we stay in hotels and like work our way?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Yes,
what, when
if
you
you ask,
become
it'll
a
happen.
full-time employee in a hotel, the benefits are amazing. I mean, not only, the standard benefits like, health insurance and dental and vision and all of that, but there are a lot of perks. Like if you like to travel, if you're a full-time employee, you get a employee discount that I can't even say the number, it's so low.
Oh,
You
wow.
can say it.
I've been having.
Because Grant and I might be on a housekeeping team.
But it's, okay, let's say dinner at a regular type restaurant, okay?
We're in a regular type restaurant here.
Okay,
This is-
so look at the menu then. I
Okay.
can't say the number, but because every hotel varies, right?
Kevin, have you got some money? Okay, this is a pretty good deal then.
It's a very good deal. And if you like to travel, once you're on that track where you're moving up and you get into management, if you want to go to Dubai,
I do.
and you're in one of the large, one of the large chains that
Right.
have hotels all around the world, you can do that too. You just have to speak up and
have you
say,
ever
I
thought
want
about-
to do
Have you ever
this.
thought about being a preacher? Have you ever crossed your mind?
Never,
Really?
no.
You'd be really good at that, I think.
Recruiting for a cult.
There you go.
I've never thought about making beds in my life until you've just almost... It
I tell you,
sounds
it's the
great.
start. The
Very
first,
appealing.
the first program that we did where we designed a curriculum, we were looking for people who were unemployed who wanted to be employed. And so what we started out with was a 5-week program, and we worked with Delgado, and we developed a curriculum which is 50% in the classroom and 50% in a hotel. And a number of the classes, even in the classroom situation, are taught by actual employees of hotels. And they love to do it. It's very rewarding for
Right.
them. And then we have job shadowing. We put people in groups of 3 for job shadowing. So we did 2 cohorts on our own, and our Education Foundation paid the tuition for that. And then we got a grant, and we expanded the course to 8 weeks, and now we are on our 3rd cohort of an 8-week extended program, and this includes, life training skills, and the grant provides also stipends to the individuals who are in the course. So you get paid
So do you have to have
incentives.
more loans, or will they actually...
No. All that cost is covered. The student pays nothing. The student shows up.
Wow. This is
And in our the first 2 5-week cohorts we did, we paid for everything. But the one that is now going on now, which is called a YOST program, YOST, which you're probably familiar with, there's actually money so that the person who's in the course actually makes money being in the course.
It's getting better and better every
Yes,
sentence.
I know. I know. I'm telling you.
Okay, we'll
we
take a break
have a
for a minute.
high demand for
Okay.
we want
This
people
is
in our
exciting.
industry.
I'm signing up for making
I want to
beds
follow
tomorrow.
up when you start your job with her.
Hey, listen, Darcy, you want to play another song while we're here? You guys, what do you
Yes.
say? Actually, I'm going to give you this back for a minute.
Yeah.
I've quite enjoyed operating this camera, I have to say.
You're very good
There's a
at it.
future for me.
Ooh.
I'm not really paying attention to what's going on while I'm doing that, though.
I know.
It's like 2 things at once.
It's hard to do. It's like when
Yeah.
you're filming something and you're trying to watch it at the same time.
Right.
I guess that's what you do if you're in the film business, but we're not
Yeah.
in the film
Or
business.
like playing guitar and singing.
It's very
do it,
similar.
can't do it.
Oh, I have to do this. What are you going to play here, guys?
I guess we're gonna do Pure as Gold. We're gonna attempt. We've never done this like without the band.
Right, so we're gonna
Well,
give it a
we
shot.
can totally chip
Whatever
in.
happens, happens. Just
if you need us to clap or anything,
great.
let us know.
Yes.
And did you bring your piano? There's like a solo section.
Yeah, there is
it
a
would
piano
be beneficial
solo.
to have, like, yeah, just play a little solo.
It would really help.
Cobwebs
All
on
right,
it.
I'll like wink at you when it's time. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank God. All right. How do we even start this? Okay,
Let's
do it.
Like 2, 3, 4.
There, you can clap. Where did you go when we were so young and in love?
conceal it. This fever got me losing control. You make me fall apart. Ooh, and I like it. Can't behave, there's no point. I really need it. So take it all, you know it's yours. I only need to be in your arms. Eyes are shaking, I'm going blind. I lost it all in you. Can't live without it, I got no time. I want it, I want you. You make me fall apart, ooh, and I like it. Can't behave, there's no point. I really need it. You make me fall apart, ooh, and I like it. Can't behave, there's no point. I really need it. Yay! It's hard doing it's hard doing the guys' background vocals and the girls' background vocals all together.
That was really great.
That was really great, actually.
We pulled
It
it
looks-
off.
Yeah, thanks for percussion, guys.
Yeah.
Nice job, you two. Yeah, very
Do our
good.
best,
Very,
right?
very good.
And you stayed in time.
You stayed in time.
I stopped clapping because I thought I was going to be out of time. Sure. Did you guys actually?
I couldn't
like the-
listen to the lyrics and keep time at the same, so I missed a lot of the lyrics, but I was on.
You did, and you clapped on the
Nice
2 and
job.
the 4,
Yeah.
not the 1 and the 3. I'm
Exactly.
very
It's
proud
The power
of
of the metronome. The power of the metronome.
See, it's like riding a
right?
bike,
There
man. You
you
got
go.
it, yeah.
There
Still
you
got
go.
it, Kevin. Do you
I
still
do my best?
Do you still play ever?
A little bit. I
What-
have some
what
fun
sort of
with
stuff
it.
do you play
we're
when you're
we're
bass?
working real hard, so we have a lot of stuff going on at the company right now. So I don't have much time to do the arts
Right.
myself, but I love supporting the arts.
But do you get home? Do you get some time to sit at home and play the piano just by yourself once in a while?
At times.
Do you
At
have your
times.
own room with the piano? That
My
you
man
close
cave with the piano.
door?
Yeah.
We do have a piano in our living room, though. So
And
Okay,
what are you
good.
playing? Do you sit down and play like classical like you used to?
I kind of reminisce at times.
Do you
And I
have?
go
Do you
back.
can still read music and you
Debussy.
I can still.
put it all out
I'm
there?
old, but
That's-
not that old. Yeah,
that's
I can
pretty
still read music.
So that's impressive because most people. You guys, can you read music?
Yeah, probably not as good as a classical pianist. but
Darcy, you're trained.
Yeah.
So everyone's trained to read.
I have my degree in music performance.
Okay.
So,
That's
and I
awesome.
don't have debt. So.
That's nice.
That's cool. Though.
Right.
So, Kevin, I wanted to ask you a
Reporting.
serious question, though. Actually,
Sure.
That I've wanted to have answered. That I've often been wondering about. That what you do, your job, your company's job, is to take people who have ideas, who are entrepreneurs or business people, and kind of hold their hand and steer them in the right direction and consult with them and tell them what to do. Is that have I understood that correctly?
So we help grow and sustain organizations. So we built a company that helps organizations set goals, build plans, and then implement what they need to implement to achieve their goals.
Right.
So we work with early stage entrepreneurs at times, but we work with them actually through accelerator programs like Propeller or Idea Village or Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. We work with established organizations, nonprofits that are growing and want strategic planning or want facilitation work, and growth companies, that have real traction, and they need to build out a culture, build out an organizational design, build out goals and metrics and tracking.
See, well, this is what interests me. This gets to my question. Then, in the past, when we've given rise to gigantic companies like Apple and Microsoft and Walmart and McDonald's and God only knows what, none of these companies had accelerators or incubators like we have now.
Correct.
Now, so for years and years, this rugged individualism has created this American economy, and now we have a whole generation of people who apparently have to have their hands held by companies and be told what to do. And
I think it's more
What
a reflection. I
happened?
think it's more a reflection of the setting in which those companies were born. So some cities are more mature than others. So I
Right.
think you've got cities like New Orleans that has real entrepreneurial in the oxygen of the air, got entrepreneurship in its culture. I think in a post-Katrina world where there are lots of new ideas coming into the city and new ways of thinking about how we think about hospitality, how we think about education.
Yeah, but my question is, why do we need companies like yours? What happened to John Walton and Bill Gates and so on?
I think they may have had companies like mine behind the scenes.
Did they?
We're not
Did they?
we're
That's
not
my
an
question.
accelerator program.
Right.
So cities that have accelerator programs are cities that really want to invest in new ideas and help like jumpstart companies. Our company is more of a consulting firm. So we're brought in to
Right.
help address certain issues, help organizations grow, help build culture.
So when they
Help
started the
plan.
Ford Motor Company and Microsoft, they didn't have these kinds of challenges? Has times changed, or have people just...
I think people have had advisors for a very long
I
time.
do too. I think
They
we
have?
just didn't know about it,
We
and
didn't.
it wasn't
Right.
available to those who couldn't. I was going to say to those who couldn't afford it,
Right.
but it wasn't.
It wasn't as vast.
Not
So this is
available
more of a
or even
democratization
known
of-
that it was available to a vast number of people. And we have so many creative minds now,
That's correct.
and people who want to be entrepreneurs. That an organization like yours is fantastic because it's such a resource.
So I can avail myself of a company like yours now, whereas in the past I would have had to have already been successful.
Right. I often say we're not McKinsey, we're not Bain, we're not BCG. Those are the very large, very prestigious, very big firms, global firms that do consulting that tend to be really effective but very, very expensive.
So if
we're
I
the
had-
type of firm that can meet many organizations where they are and just help them continue to grow and sustain themselves.
And would I have to pay you for this, or do you take like an equity stake in my company to do this?
It's a great host.
You know, how does that? Do you?
Grant, you would need to pay me. Yes.
So that's how it works. It's a fee.
You just wash dishes and change beds?
You don't take an equity stake in these companies that you're.
It depends. It depends on the situation. At times, we will make an investment play. At times, we'll take equity. But most of it's fee for service.
Some money. So I have to have some money.
You have to have some money
I can't
to
just
want
have
to
a
invest.
half-baked idea and come to you and say, "Hey, listen, I got this great idea."
You probably have to already be somewhat developed in your idea and one. I'm not going to speak for you.
No, working. I think there are organizations, nonprofits that are out there to help people with new ideas, and they don't have any resources, and they get a lot of free support. Our company is more for those organizations that are established, that are growing. We could work with you all. We could work with you in terms
I know.
of like
I was thinking of that when you were talking.
Work out.
We have no money.
You have no money at all.
We just
We're
recorded
musicians.
this album.
But you are so cool. I would work for you for the cool factor.
Wait a minute.
You're cool too. You're cool
cool.
too.
But you've got your hands on all the money in the city,
Oh no, I
so
don't.
we're not worried about you.
Oh no, I don't.
There's 100-something thousand people working in the hospitality industry. How many tourists do we have a year here? 10 million?
Over 10 million.
Zero.
17 million.
Hang on.
Wait, there's a great comment? I'm scared.
Yeah,
It's a complete non sequitur, but Gary Zerang says this host is a donkey.
Who said
Yeah.
that?
Gary Zerang, whip it
Gary
like
Zerang.
Zerang.
Whipping it like Zerang.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to deal with Gary Zerang later.
I wonder why he thinks you're a donkey.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
I think you can take it either way.
I like donkeys.
Yeah.
I think you're asking
Maybe
the
he
questions
is a
that
Democrat.
people want to know the answers to.
Oh,
Like,
well, maybe he thinks I'm a
Maybe
Democrat.
he thinks you're a Democrat.
Ah.
will they cost me?
He probably thinks
that's
you're
an
a
important
jackass.
question, right? Do I have to
Depends on
pay
what
you
the-
Or
out?
that.
with the service
Or
fee.
that.
Sure.
There's only one thing I really love about Gary Zerang, and that is he's listening.
So true.
So,
Thank you,
good
Gary.
man. Okay, we've got to get the hell out of here, everybody.
Whipping it like
Oh,
Zerang.
no, is
whipping
it an
it.
hour already?
Yes, it's all
This
over.
was
We've got
really
to go
fun.
and
It
wake
was so
mate.
nice to meet y'all.
Nice to
It's
meet
been
you.
great.
To meet you
Kevin
guys.
Wilkins
Thank
has
you
been
for
here
the
from
music.
Tripwise.
Thank you.
Mavis Early, who's changed all of our lives today. We're all going to go get
Yes.
a job in the hospitality industry.
Absolutely.
Asher is going to be $70,000 richer by the end of the year.
In 6 months.
And the manager of the Hilton Hotel, by the way.
The Asher Hilton.
And to anyone listening, come to the Maple Leaf Saturday night for my birthday show.
Happy birthday,
absolutely.
Darcy.
Saturday?
That's
Yes.
Saturday, the what date are we talking about?
The 26th.
Saturday, the 26th of May, 2018.
Correct.
If you happen to be listening to this after that point, you'll have to just...
Birthday /
Okay.
CD release.
The Maple Leaf
Maple Leaf.
CD
Perfect.
release Darcy Malone birthday party.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
I'm coming.
That's Darcy Malone and the Tangle, and if you would just like to go check them out, you can find them online at darcymaloneinthetangle.com.
.com.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Grant.
Happy hour for another week.
Thanks so much.
Graham DePonte is the producer of our show, and our associate producer is Alison Moon. Christian Unruh is our music director. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our Facebook live feed director is Ashley Griffith. She's also the general manager of the Hilton Hotel. Our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about 60 minutes while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, itsneworleans.com, where you can also find many other hours of Happy Hour that we've recorded previously, as well as some other shows we make around here. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Talk Around, award-winning podcast about death called Death. The podcast, not too dark, I hope, for anybody. You can find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. On all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and our Facebook page. These photos were taken today by Jill LaFleur. You can find more photos and info about Jill at lafleurphoto.com. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for that. Thanks for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us if you've got one. That helps other people find us. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfair on Ferret Street, Uptown, New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of I Know Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, who didn't make it today, but whose record comes out this week. It's called False River. You can get it anywhere you steal music or buy music from, so check that out. It's Andrew Duhon's new record. And from everyone else around the table here at Wayfair and back at our office at I Know Broadcasting, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.
Pros, for the supplies you use most, start with Lowe's. Because Lowe's stocks the right quantities you need for any size job, like treated lumber, fencing, and decking. Load up on savings when you buy in bulk and get up to 30% off select 80-pound bags of Quick Read or Sack Read. Plus, get 5% off eligible purchases every day with your Lowe's Business Credit account. For other great benefits Lowe's offers pros, stop by and talk to your dedicated pro team today. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval, can't be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.